I just had to flip my notes over.
No, I was just like, what, am I supposed to say something here?
No, I was trying to be quiet so that if you wanted, you could like cut.
Pause. I'm just like, yeah. Uh-huh.
I was trying to like be quiet so that if you wanted to cut the flipping of my page, you could. Okay. So,
and now I'm keeping it all in.
Yeah. So, okay.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Welcome to Maritime Supernatural Podcast. I'm Chrissi.
I'm Jill.
And this is episode 9. Oh my God. We're almost to the double digits.
Next time.
So yeah, how has the remainder of your February been?
I mean, it was pretty good. Overall, I've been working out and I've been really busy. We're working on buying a house. So it's been really hectic and I've been super, super, super busy. So I'm hoping that March will be a little bit less busy.
Yeah,
we'll
a bit
see.
More forgiving. Yeah. I'm definitely hoping for a chiller March. It would be nice to be able to cool down a little bit.
Yes.
That being said, it's the beginning of con season for me. My first convention is like the last weekend of March, and so
oh my goodness.
Yeah. So for those who want to come and see me, I'll be at the Island Entertainment Expo. What are the dates? March 28th and 29th on PEI. So yeah,
perfect. I need to apologize in advance if you hear any cute meowy sounds. It's because one of my cats is in here and she hasn't fallen asleep like I was hoping she would. And she's very talkative.
I just gotta put some whiskey on her kibble.
Oh, I forgot the whiskey.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Let her eat her kibble without the whiskey.
You fool. That's what she wants, is that she wants her medicine. That's all.
Do you need some whiskey, baby? She's just staring at me.
Some whiskeys for her whiskers.
Oh. Huge disclaimer, though. Never, ever give your pets alcohol.
God, no. Don't do it. We are saying it as a goof. Do not actually do this thing, please.
Never do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm starting us off today.
Yeah,
and
you are.
When I was doing some research, I kind of realized I don't think we've really done many stories about where we're living in Halifax. Have we done?
No. I know that I've been kind of avoiding it because it's just like, this is like my everyday life. It's not very special, but then it's like, well, not everybody lives here. Like,
right. I felt the same way. So I kind of was like, oh, well, maybe I'll check around and see what local things are going on. And pretty much the first thing I came across and I was actually really interested in is the Five Fishermen restaurant.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Have you ever eaten in there?
I've not eaten there. I did do a ghost walk a couple years ago, I think September of 2018.
Yeah.
And that was like a highlighted part of the ghost walk was the Five Fishermen.
Ooh, I've never been on one of the ghost walks around here. It was
real good.
Yeah, I keep meaning to, and it just never seems to work out for me. Hopefully this year will be the year.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Well, now we've got a podcast, so we can use it for research.
Yeah, we're like obligated to do it.
Yes.
Okay, so so I've never eaten at the Five Fishermen restaurant either, but I think we should make that like a note on our to-do list this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the history first, and then we'll get into the spooky stuff. So the building was originally built in 1817, and back then it was a schoolhouse. They had an Anglican church across the street that I think was basically like making sure that they had good amount of religion in the school, like keeping their eye on it.
God.
But this sort of situation, it resulted in this school being the first national school and is considered a heritage site because of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So at one point, it actually turned into an art school, which I thought was pretty cool. There was a woman who kind of fronted that named Anna Lenowens. I hope I said that correctly.
Anna Lenowens?
Yeah. And she's the one who wrote Anna and the King of Siam, which turned into the Academy Award-winning movie The King and I.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Oh my god. I had no idea. Oh my god, I had no idea it was like so local.
I had no idea either. So she started this, she turned this building into the Halifax Victorian School of Art until eventually the building turned into a mortuary.
Oh.
You know, as a lot of old buildings tend to do. I mean, I'm saying that coming from a place where I have no idea what I'm talking about. However, this one turned into a mortuary.
And now we eat there. Sorry,
now it's a delicious restaurant.
But...
So this building was turned into a mortuary before 1912, and they actually dealt with some of the richer or wealthier victims of the sinking of the Titanic in 1912.
Oh.
And it also survived the Halifax explosion, and they had, you know, some work to do during that devastation as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So in 1975, they refurbished it and turned it into the restaurant we know as the Five Fishermen. What interested me about this this haunting of this restaurant was that they seem like very proud of these ghosts that they have in their building.
Yes.
They have a whole section on the website. So if anyone wants to look it up, they can. So Five Fishermen. I just Googled Five Fishermen, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and you'll find it right away. So they have like a section on the website that's all about the history. And then they have just this huge chunk of information just about the hauntings.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I'm not
cool.
going to... Yeah, I thought it was pretty neat. And I won't spoil everything. I'll just kind of do like my favorite bits. So that way you can, if you want, you can go to the website and check out a couple other ones that I did not bring up. So just in general, they've been experiencing a lot of things like, you know, the taps turning on and off by themselves, or like glasses flying off shelves and smashing onto the floor. And then like hearing
typical hauntings.
Yeah, pretty typical haunting stuff, you know, like thinking people are coming into the restaurant when there's no one actually there, and things like that. So one of the incidences that happened was one of the waitresses was at work late, and they were heading to the grand stairwell only to see this sort of gray, foggy looking apparition. And they were moving, like this apparition was like moving down the staircase. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, luckily they didn't have any popcorn.
I was just thinking, like, did they trip?
Yeah.
If this like slow moving fog that all of a sudden just like, ooh, are you okay, Mr. Ghost?
Yeah. If anyone's wondering kind of a bit of what we're referencing, it's in one of our earlier episodes where a ghost had, I think they passed away trying to get popcorn down in a theater.
Episode 6, None Ya Business. It's a very silly episode.
It is. So this apparition did not fall and did not have popcorn and just kind of, I think, faded away in front of the witness's very eyes. Mm-hmm. And then another incident that happened was a server was using a credit card machine and they felt a tap on their shoulder. And they didn't turn around right away because they were busy trying to figure out this machine, you know, like pushing the buttons and trying to figure it out. And it's very frustrating. So they're just kind of like, you know, give me a second kind of deal. And then the tap on the shoulder happened again. And the server, he turned his head with like a what? And there was nobody there.
Maybe the ghost was trying to tap its credit card.
It's like, sir, I need to pay before I leave. Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just go.
Okay. Yeah, okay, well, fine. Okay. Look, if the drinks are free, they're free. Like, I don't mind. I'm not complaining.
If you don't want me to pay, then I won't. Goodbye. So there seemed to be a reoccurring specter in this place as well. Mm-hmm. And at 3:00 p.m., near the salad bar, very specifically near the salad bar. This young guy was setting the salads up. So he was carrying these large trays to the bar and, his hands are full and he's working really hard. And on one of his trips back and forth with these heavy trays, he heard a loud crash. He couldn't do anything about it at the time as his hands were full. So he went and he took his trays where they had to go. And then he came back to investigate what the crash was. And he bent down and found this smashed ashtray.
A smash tray.
Yeah, smash tray. So he stood back up and he was standing in front of this large mirror and he looked in the reflection and behind him he saw this like elderly, long-haired man with this long black trench coat that looked like it came from like, the early 1900s or something like that. And this old guy was like walking away from him. So he turned to kind of address the man, but when he turned around, there was nothing there. He only saw this apparition in the reflection.
For some reason, I was picturing like a ghost just like gorging itself on salad, like Slimer style. Like it's just like this distraction so that this ghost can get at the salad bar.
I thought I filled that salad bowl. I was sure I brought out the macaroni, macaroni salad. I was sure. Oh well, I guess I'll have to get the other container of it. I hate when that happens.
Oh, yeah. Ghosts get in your salads.
I know. It's the worst.
Pests.
So he just kind of like shrugged it off and kept working, as you do. When you see a ghost, you just kind of are like, meh, whatever. And then you just keep...
If you work in the Five Fishermen, I guess it's kind of everyday life.
Yeah, it's just like, the huge,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a few years later... the assistant manager was chatting on the phone with some customers near the salad bar, again, at 3 p.m.
Oh,
and
the most dreadful
the witching hour
of the day.
And so he saw the same apparition. He saw a man with a long black trench coat, or long black coat. I don't know if I keep saying it's a trench coat. I don't know the coat terminology correctly, but and he had like the long gray hair, and he was standing near the salad bar. So he was on the phone. The assistant manager was on the phone, and he said to this apparition, who he thought was just some dude. And he was like, I'll be with you in a moment. And then he got back and finished his conversation with the customers. But then he turned his head again and there was just nobody there. There was no one in the whole place. The doors were locked. So, which made me wonder why he wasn't more alarmed that this man was in the restaurant. But I digress. So he looked around and there was nobody in there and no way that they could be in there. So this kind of made me wonder, though, seeing as it happened twice, I'm like, what if it's not a ghost and it's just this guy that's like living in the vents?
Just squatting?
Yeah. He's like kind of like in these old walls and he comes out once in a while to get some salad at the salad bar when he assumes no one's there. And yeah, exactly. And then he gets caught twice, but the rest of the time he's been doing pretty good.
Oh my God, yeah. The ghost of the Five Fishermen. My name's Jerry. I live in the vent system.
Do you have any shampoo? My hair's getting kind of greasy.
Yeah, I'll also take just coconut oil. It gives it a nice shine.
He's very like hair conscious. Like he's trying his best to take care of his hair. He's using like the olive oil from the salads to like detangle and like just kind of give like a shine to it.
Yeah, apple cider vinegar to kind of like wash it out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The apple cider vinegar, like vinaigrette.
Yeah. So there's like little seeds in it.
There's like a note scrawled. They're like, we found this. The ghost left it behind. It's like, please stop getting the chili vinaigrette.
What a sin. Okay. So the final story I wanted to bring up was there was a hostess showing a couple to their table when she felt a harsh touch on her face. Yeah. So then later, after she, showed this couple to the table, she went back and the maitre d' asked her what happened to her face, as it looked like she had a handprint, like she had been slapped.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like, I feel like I would have reacted pretty like severely to feeling a touch on my face and not seeing anything touch me. Like, I feel like I would have freaked out.
I definitely would have asked to go home.
Yeah, I would have too. I would have been like, you know what?
This day isn't working out for me. Yeah, I think actually I need to go home and nap.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, yeah. So that happened. But then the website after this claims that the ghosts are just mischievous. Like, not...
Someone got bitch slapped.
I know. I know. Like, I'm wondering if they just kind of played down the action of it to make it seem less harsh. Like, maybe she felt like she got slapped.
Yeah, maybe she got, like, slapped to the ground or something. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, just completely. We recently watched Jumanji, the second Jumanji movie, the new one.
Yeah.
And showing how Bravestone just like punches people or slaps them and they just go flying like into the wall. So now I'm just picturing this ghost like gently like touching her face, but then she goes like flying into the salad bar.
Oop. Yeah, then she just gets up and keeps taking people's orders. She's like, oh, that was weird. Oh.
That was weird. And then the maitre d's like, what happened to your face? And it's like, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, I guess something happened earlier.
Yeah, weird.
It's just more of a strong touch, really.
Yeah, strong touch. A harsh touch.
A harsh touch.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that if we decide to go eat at the Five Fishermen, we should go around 3 p.m. and hang out around the salad bar specifically.
Just chill by the salad bar. What are those two people over there doing? They've just been like staring at the olive oil like all afternoon.
We can mask it by just like taking each bit of salad that we want to get like leaf by leaf. Like we'll just go really slow, just kind of like, okay, 1,
please.
2. Oh, I dropped my olive. I better go back for it again. Just really draw out this experience.
And you're just like doop 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 doop, like doing like little butt dances. You like bend over to like pick it up,
and then stand up to look in the mirror to see if we see anything.
But like super fast and just like look over your shoulder.
And hope we don't smack our heads on the salad bar and like create 2 more ghosts.
I thought you meant like on each other.
Oh, we might. We're both like unconscious on the like floor of the Five Fishermen.
They're just like walking over us. So like, oh, it's probably ghost stuff.
Yeah, probably just ghost stuff. It's fine.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff happens all the time.
They just got a harsh touch. That's all.
We both have like huge eggs on our head. It's like, oh, that was exciting.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, that was my little summary of the Five Fishermen experiences. There are some other ones on the website if anyone's interested in checking them out.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad. It's important to own your ghosts like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. It makes our life so much easier.
So much easier.
PEI, please.
Let your ghosts out, please.
Yes. Show me your ghosts. Yes, that's awesome. And yeah, I've honestly heard like really good things about the food there too. So
perfect.
Yeah, so we definitely have to check that out.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when is our 6-month anniversary is coming up for the...
Aww.
Wait, it might have actually been today. Was it today?
Oh, really?
Yeah, today's our 6-monther.
Happy 6-month anniversary.
Happy 6 months. Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
that
cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so we should have an anniversary dinner there at some point.
Yeah, we really should.
Yeah. Well, the weather's lightening up a bit, so
yes,
we'll be able to actually.
If anyone wants to finance a trip for us to go to eat at the Five Fishermen, please feel free.
Just send us money over PayPal. It's fine.
Oh. Okay, so what are you going to tell me today?
Well, this week I am staying in New Brunswick, not physically, but story-wise, I'm staying in New Brunswick. Yeah. And we are going to St. Andrews by the Sea in New Brunswick. It's also known as St. Andrews. Mm-hmm. And we are talking about the Algonquin Resort Hotel. Okay.
I do love hotel stories.
Yes. Oh, and this one's a good one.
Ooh, I'm excited.
There's a lot of stories at this place. So The hotel originally opened in 1889.
Mm-hmm.
However, the all-wood structure burned down in 1914 while being re-roofed. Yeah,
Oops.
there's like
Oopsie doopsie.
Yeah, a spark from one of the lanterns, or not, sorry, a spark from like one of the workers like hitting a nail or something ended up setting the whole thing ablaze. Yeah. The repairs cost $800,000 in 1914, and I did the conversion. That is $18.2 million today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so much money.
And it jacked the cost of staying a night there to $4 a day.
Oh shit, $4 whole dollars.
Which is like $90 today, which is not actually that bad.
Good. That's still pretty good.
Given that it's now like $200 to stay a night.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. However, this allowed the hotel to put in lighting, electricity, and telephones, which allowed for room service.
That's exciting. Yeah, it's worth the extra like $1.50.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they made it worth it for sure.
Yeah.
It is said that the only loss of life in the fire was a bellman. In the lobby, there's one of the only surviving pieces of furniture from the fire, which is a writing desk containing a drawer within which there are signatures of all the original bellmen of the hotel. And there's speculation that the bellman who lost his life, he did so trying to save this desk.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah, like, apparently, like, this job was really important to like a lot of people in the area, and it brought a ton of tourism into the area, and they ended up like building a train station around the hotel and everything. Like,
wow.
It like, yeah. So this hotel was a really big deal to residents. And so, yeah, it was really important for him to like, you know, save this piece of memory. Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can kind of relate. I feel like there are definitely some like objects in my house that I would want to try and save, which I really shouldn't. I mean, the rules are like leave anything that's not alive to fend for itself.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like, yeah, there's definitely like a lot of things in my apartment too that I'd be like very hard pressed to not try to save.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'd say I'm not nearly as materialistic as I used to be. Like when I was a kid, I was thinking like, oh, I'd have to like grab all of my game consoles.
Right.
Like,
yes.
No. But yeah, no, there's definitely a few things that it's like I would have to grab my phone.
Yeah, me too.
I cannot imagine being at like square zero and not having my phone. Like that would
man.
Yeah.
But if you grab your phone, you gotta grab your charger. What good is your phone without? So once you get the charger and the phone, you know, you gotta make sure that
my iPad and like the pencil too.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, those pencils are so expensive.
Yeah.
Like to have to buy another one of those, you might as well grab that. And like if you have a specific carrying case for your iPad, you got to make sure it's in that safe. Like you don't want to get broke.
Yeah, which I made it myself. Like I made my carrying case myself. So like there's sentimental value.
Yes.
But like at this point, I might as well also grab my laptop and the cord for it, right?
There you go. I mean, it's only one more item. It's not like you're taking your whole bedroom.
Exactly.
You know. But you know what? Like my marker collection was pretty expensive and it took me a long time to gather. So I might have to try and save that on top of, you know, my phone, my iPad, the iPad pencil, the chargers. Yeah. Hopefully it's a slow fire.
Yeah, honestly, we might as well just lay down and burn. It's fine at this point.
I know.
Just lay our bodies over the stuff that we're trying to save, and then our bodies will save it.
The things are okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, yeah. Okay.
So after the fire, the hotel reopened in 1915, like I said, with all these new amenities. But then in 1916, the hotel was forced to close due to World War I. And it was closed until 1919.
Wow, yeah.
And then it would close again for World War II from 1939 to 1945.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, but there's like, it didn't hinder the hotel's business at all, because in 1991, it grew to the point that it was named Canada's Resort of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, So, onto the hauntings.
Here we go.
Yeah, they are plentiful and well known. The hotel will actually offer ghost tours. It used to be that you could like go on the website and actually book the ghost tour package. Mm-hmm. But they seem to have removed all mention of the ghosts. Like, it used to be that you could like go onto the website and read about the ghosts and stuff like that. But I think they switched hands, and they're trying to rebrand and squash their ghosts, which is unfortunate.
Oh, what a sin. Yeah.
Yeah, doubly unfortunate because the ghosts were actually a huge, they were considered a substantial draw to both the hotel and the town of St. Andrews.
Yeah, definitely.
Whilst there have been a few untimely and tragic demises within the hotel, most of the hauntings occur simply because the previous tenants and retired staff don't want to leave.
Yeah. Aww.
Yeah. The most tragic story being of a little boy who died in the first iteration of the hotel before it burned down in 1914. It's said that he accidentally chased his red ball out of an open third-story window, plummeting to his death. Yeah.
Oh, yes. No.
He has been seen standing off to the side of the lobby on busy days. Mm-hmm. And he is the only apparition caught on camera, although he is very faint in the photograph.
Does he have his ball?
Yes, that's how they know it's him. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good, I guess.
At least he's got his ball. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, because like I can send you the picture here, but it is.
Please do.
Like it's kind of like a magic eye where you can't look directly at the spot where he is.
Okay.
Like, ghost photo.
Okay, I've got the image. It's like a sepia colored image.
Mm-hmm. So he's apparently in the chair that is closest to us, that's facing towards the camera.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can kind of see his outline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
Yeah, but it's also like, are we actually seeing somebody there? Or is it just like the way that the pattern on the chair is? It's kind of looking like, the top of a head and like the forehead and stuff like that. Like,
yeah. To me, it looks like two images kind of sandwiched together, or like taking a picture of this room through glass or in a reflection, because
through a mirror or something.
Yeah, because you can kind of see the outline of a picture frame just kind of floating in the middle of the room, and the outline of another floor kind of behind everything.
Yeah. You know what? I have a feeling this photo is probably in the lobby and someone's taking a picture. Yeah, I think I can see like
a picture of the picture.
Yeah, I think we can kind of see the corner of a cell phone case.
Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting. I would love to see the original.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, you can see like the outline, and it kind of like, to me, it looks like the little boy in the chair is like looking away from the camera, kind of like looking to the side, and you can see the outline of his shoulders, and I can't really see his lower half, but like I can really distinctly see like the head and the ear and like the face looking away with like his shoulders and his little vest and stuff.
That's interesting, because like I can kind of see him like looking 3/4, like not at the camera, but like kind of like looking off, like, just spacing out, I guess.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also, apparently you can see his red ball in this, but I don't see it.
I don't see a ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Is there a way people can see this photo that we're talking about? So if they want to
I just Googled like Algonquin Resort Hotel ghost photo, and it's one of the first ones on there. It, like Jill says, it's sepia tone. It's got a bunch of chairs in it. It looks like it's like an old dining room or just like a sitting room, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he's in the chair that's closest to the camera.
Cool.
Yeah. One of the most well-known spirits is of the bellman. He will approach guests and offer his services, so to help them move their luggage. And he may help them with their luggage, or he may simply have the time to make the offer. But all that's known is that once guests turn away from him and turn back, he's gone.
Imagine if he offered to help you with the luggage and you were like, you were struggling. You're like, yeah, of course. And then he's like helping you and he carries it up like a little ways. And then you like kind of like maybe drop something or you look behind you or whatever, and then you hear your bags fall, and then you look and he's just gone and your bags are lying in front of you.
Oh my God. Bastard. But apparently his appearance is so convincing that guests have left tips for him at the front desk because he left before they could give it to him.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yes,
I bet those tips are more than his wages would have been in like a week.
Oh yeah, like he's like shitting bricks. He's just like, I wish I could take that. Like, oh my God, $20? What? Also infamous is the bride in room 473. The story is that she was left at the altar, or she simply ended her relationship with her fiance, and she can be heard sobbing within the room.
Oh, no, that's sad.
Guests staying in the room have also reported seeing flashes of white out of the corner of their eyes, and unexplained orbs have been caught on film many times in the room. The stories were so plentiful of people waking up in the middle of the night to ghostly sobs that the room is now converted from a guest room to housekeeping.
Oh my God, what a sin.
Yeah. Yes.
I used to be a housekeeper for the local hospital, and if I knew that my housekeeping headquarters was haunted, I would have been so mad. Having said that, though, they did claim when I worked there that the housekeeping headquarters was haunted.
Well,
where I worked, because we were in the veterans building, and we were right across from a graveyard, and they always said that the vets building was haunted, and and so I guess technically the housekeeping headquarters where I used to work kind of technically was haunted as well. So never mind. I take back what I said.
Yeah, you weren't that angry.
I wasn't that angry.
Like there's a bunch of stories. Like this is a pretty typical crying bride in the hotel story. Like if you look up any haunted hotel, there's going to be a crying bride. Yeah,
it makes sense though. Because, like, I've photographed a couple of weddings in my day, and one of the weddings I photographed, like, actually two of them, like, we were staying at a resort in one, and the other one, it was a hotel. Because, like, even though one of them was local, it was easier to just have the hotel room so that you didn't have to worry about anything. Like, you can kind of be closer to the venue or whatever. And even if you live in the same town, like, you would still, sometimes people will still get a hotel room out for that day.
Yes, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. So, I mean, hotels would see tons of brides and grooms just going in and out, like, every day probably. So,
yeah, and I mean, like, so there's, like, a lot of stories about what happened between her and her fiancé. There are some stories that, like, he left her for another woman, or that they were supposed to get married as soon as he came back from sea, but his ship was late, and she assumed that he was, like, lost at sea, and so she killed herself because of that, which is such a typical story, and I'm like, I doubt that happened as often as ghost stories would have us believe. Like,
that's pretty extreme, especially if you don't know for sure. Like,
and
give them some time.
Yeah, for sure.
Give him a few years at least.
A few years at least. Yeah, I think he came with this story. He came in the following couple days or something.
Oh my God! So it's basically trying to do a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. And it just seems kind of hokey to me. It's like I'm willing to believe more that she was left at the altar.
Yeah, that happens a lot more frequently. And I would cry if I ended up I was I was going up and walking up to the altar or whatever, and then nobody was there. I'd be like, what the hecky?
Yeah, if nothing else, I would just be super embarrassed.
Yeah. So
and I cry when I'm embarrassed. So.
Did you yeah, exactly. Did you see the Netflix show Love is Blind?
No.
There's a lot of, it's basically these people get engaged before they ever visually see each other within 10 days. And then they get to see each other for the first time. And then in the next 3 weeks, they get married.
Huh.
And there are definitely some altercations. No, there's definitely some situations where they go up to the altar and the marriage does not happen. is what I'll say.
Yeah.
So no specific spoilers, but that is what that made me think of.
Oh goodness, yeah.
And like, just to like date this episode, I guess, like, it is so big right now that like everyone at my work is talking about this show, including like 60-year-old retired military dudes who have
so
gotten
funny.
addicted. He's like one guy, I won't name names, but he was like, my wife got me hooked and I binged 10 hours of it over the weekend.
Oh my god.
So
Oh goodness. Yeah.
Anyway, that's what that made me think of.
Oh yeah, I guess like the finale like recently aired or something, and like
Yes.
I just saw like a tweet that was something like, I hope everyone's having a good day except for Jessica from Love is Blind or something like that. Like, somebody was really pissed off at this person.
Yeah, no, that's okay. No spoilers, but I totally understand why that person tweeted that.
So back to the Algonquin Resort Hotel.
Yeah, we're back.
The dining room has stories of the staff setting the tables for breakfast the following morning before locking up and leaving. And then when they come in the morning, they find that the table settings have been rearranged to be on the floor all around the tables during the night.
That would be, first of all, terrifying, but second of all, I'd be so angry.
Yeah.
Like, someone went through and undid all of the work, and then we'd have to rush to get it done in
But
time.
knowing you, Jill, like, you would be like, some friggin' smart raccoons.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, ghosts. And you're like, these raccoons.
We gotta get the exterminator in here or the pest control to make sure they can't get back in this building, because look at what they did.
Look at what they did.
We can't use any of these dishes. They're filthy now, full of raccoon paws. And then I'd like scour the whole carpet and find like one cat hair from a guest previously and be like, see? Raccoon hair. Clearly.
There's like camera footage of like the table settings like floating
Foggy,
off.
yeah.
And you're like,
And I'll be like, well, their patterns don't pick up in the low light.
yes, exactly.
So you can't see them in the dark.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about raccoons.
Mm-hmm.
They're practically invisible in low light conditions.
There's like an orb, and you're like, look, that's its eye gleaming. Like, it's nowhere near. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Lights have also been known to dim on staff working in the dining room. And there's
aggravating.
it's the raccoons
So
at the dimming
annoying.
switch.
I know. Like,
Stealing the light bulbs.
I know. They're so jerky.
And there are stories of a ghostly maid being seen going through the motions of setting the tables. So, like, she doesn't...
On the floor?
No, like,
or
actually...
like on the table?
Yeah, actually properly setting the tables. But, like, you can see that she's doing something, but she doesn't actually have things in her hands.
Anything.
Yeah. So other minor hauntings also include the sounds of a night watchman walking the halls and jingling his keys. They believe they know exactly who that is, actually, because there is a security guard who, or like, you know, a night watchman who really enjoyed his time there, and like he only retired because he became too old to do it.
Okay,
So
yes.
they think that it's that guy who's just like, I just want to go back, and I was really happy there. So
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
and there's also been sightings of a pale and sickly looking elevator man.
It's the guy from Five Fishermen.
Oh God! It's like, I just want salad. Yeah, and like I've seen this story tied to the story of the bellman, but it doesn't seem to add up. Whereas the bellman seems to be like very chipper and joyous and happy. Like the stories I've seen of this elevator worker, like it's just like he sounds like he is knocking on death's door. Like
Yeah. Or maybe death's door like let him in, but like he didn't wipe his feet yet, so he's still kind of in the doorway.
Yes,
and hanging around.
He's just like, I gotta get that bread. Like, which we've all been there.
Yes. I'm still there.
And In rooms 308 and 373, electrical devices are known to malfunction, only to return to normal function as soon as the guests leave the room with them.
Oh.
Yeah, so like your phone will be super glitchy, and then you like leave the room, like literally the second you step out of the door, your phone is fine.
I'd be so mad. I feel like all of these things make me so angry.
Jill, we need to talk about your anger issues.
I'm paying at least $4 a night. And then
my cell phone.
And then for my phone to not work.
My 1914
my
iPhone.
precious iPhone to not work in the room that I paid good money for. Oh, buddy, I'd be rotted.
In all fairness, yeah, you are paying at least $4.
At least $4.
I just said that with like a mouthful of water. I'm going to I'm going to regret that in editing later. Oh God. So yeah, that is the Algonquin Resort and Hotel. Email them and tell them to put their ghosts back on their website.
Yeah, we want a full account.
Do not tell them who sent you, because we want to be.
Please don't.
Because we want to be on good terms with them. Because I would like to go there at some point and ghost hunt,
investigate.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I said, it's just under $200 a night on.
Oh, that's way more than $4.
Yes.
My phone best be working.
Oh yes. I think that's during the summer. I think it's like 190, and then. It is less than that in the winter, but you can't stay in the same wing where the bride's room is, because apparently they haven't gotten a chance to like properly insulate that for the winter. And it's too
she's not sad because her husband left her. She's sad because she's freezing.
Yeah, because there's no friggin' heating. Or like maybe they just don't turn on the heating on that side of the hotel during the winter because it's just not busy enough.
Yeah, maybe. They'd save a lot of money. Yeah. Like just keeping it warm enough so the pipes don't freeze.
Yes. Yeah. And it is a massive hotel. It's something like 400 to 600 rooms or something like that. It's huge. Whoa. It looks like the hotel from The Shining. It's like
perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, not cursed. Not cursed at all.
No, not cursed at all. I'm sure of it. Looking at this place, definitely not cursed.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we should definitely check that place out at some point. Maybe in the summer, we'll do like a little ghost tour.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. Yeah. We both kind of went for services sort of stories today.
We're in the service industry today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
interesting.
Both of our stories are pretty well known in their respective areas. So yeah, well, you know what? Thank you for sharing your story with me today, Chrissy. Thank you for sharing yours with me, Jill.
On our 6-month anniversary.
6 months. That's so good. Yeah, so do you have any personal stories to share?
Not today. I don't believe I do.
Not today? No, I don't think I have any either. All right, so in which case, thank you, listeners, for joining in. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at MSN Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Maritime Supernatural Podcast, which I promise this episode will go up the same day as the Spotify one, because I now have Hootsuite and I can time all of it perfectly. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. So that's going to make uploading it to different areas like way easier. Also, YouTube updated recently, and now you can schedule videos. Because that was the big thing, is that I was just like, well, I don't want to release it before Spotify, and then I would just end up forgetting to post it for like weeks at a time. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
You got the kinks sorted out.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, you can find us online. You can email us at Maritime Super.
Please.
Yes, please email us.
Please email us. We need your stories. We want to hear more.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can email us at maritimesupernatural@gmail.com. It is all one word. There's no punctuation except where you would expect it in an email. So it's maritimesupernatural@gmail.com. So
email us.
We want to hear from you. Anything at all. Just
anything at all.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is it. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And happy spring soon,
Oh my
everybody.
God, it's finally March. Oh.
We did it. We
did
survived
it.
till March.
Yeah, now we get into the what I call the sharts of winter. So
The sharts of winter. The majestic sharts of winter.
Yeah, it's just messy and bad.
Here we come. Here
fine.
we come.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, have a good day.
You too.
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye now. We did it. Yay.